Holy shit. Yes, Transformers: Dark of the Moon, the third installment in the Transformers series, directed by Michael Bay. So Transformers 3 once again focuses on Sam Witwicky, and he's trying to find a job, but desperately wants to work with the Autobots and be part of the action. Meanwhile, Decepticons are planning a full-out invasion of Earth. And what follows is a ton of action. Now, when I first saw Revenge of the Fallen, I'm gonna admit it, I kind of enjoyed it. But after I let it sink in, I realized how bad it really was. So I was skeptical for this one. I mean, the trailers looked awesome, but so did the trailers for Revenge of the Fallen. But Dark of the Moon surprised the hell out of me. First, the story is actually decent, much like the first one, where they take a real-life event, in this case the space race of the 60s, and they tie it in with the Transformers universe. And they even managed to pull off a couple of twists as well. Secondly, the acting was much better this time around. Shia LaBeouf gives a much better performance here, and the new girl, Rosie Huntington-Whiteley, does a far superior job compared to Megan Fox. And LaBeouf and Whiteley's relationship felt much more believable and emotional. But this is a Michael Bay film. When you go to a Michael Bay film, you don't go for acting or story, you go for the action. And the action here is spectacular. Bay pulled out all the stops here. There's less shaky cam, but it is still there in some parts, just there's less of it. And it's a dark tone. Like when the Decepticons show up, there was no mercy. Everything got violent. But the best part was the fact that the last hour or so of the movie is just action. And that was awesome. I kind of feel they should have just called this one Transformers: We Apologize. But that's just me. And this movie I actually saw in 3D. And it was absolutely amazing. The thing that's always impressed me with the 3D is particle effects like dust and, little debris and stuff like that. And there's a lot of scenes that have those effects, and it really immerses you in the action. One scene in particular. Now, there are still some flaws. For starters, they bring in comic relief characters that are spouting cheap humor, sort of like it's for the kid demographic, but then they turn around and get very dark and violent for teens and adults. I mean, you should pick a demographic and stay with it. And when I say cheap humor, I mean roll your eyes, why'd you say that humor? There were a couple of jokes, but most of them were pretty cheesy. And the ending was abrupt. At first I didn't mind, all the action happens, you get a monologue, and then it ends. And I left feeling really good because I just watched like an hour's worth of action. I didn't need any more story. But as I let it sink in, I realized that this is the last one and we're never going to know what everyone will go on to do. But overall, Transformers: Dark of the Moon is an epic summer blockbuster. I give it a 9 out of 10. If you want to see a movie with a ton of action, then you'll be pleased. Trust me, putting up with the cheap humor is worth it. So that's my review of Transformers: Dark of the Moon. If you enjoyed, don't forget to subscribe. This is Beardmaster180 reminding you that this has been my own personal opinion. You are in control of yours. Thanks for watching.